Hey YouTubers and YouTuberettes, this is ConorArmCEO here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new review of the Flash S5E2 Broken. Now, what I'm starting to understand now about this character is that he's very skilled because he was taking on Gridlock. I thought at the end of the episode he just plain killed him, but by the looks of things, Gridlock put up quite a fight. And obviously, I've now found out what that dagger was for. It's more like a dampener dagger that's shaped into a lightning bolt. And the way that I saw it, when it comes close to a metahuman, it shuts down their powers completely. And seeing how skilled Cicada is, he looks like he has like hand-to-hand combat experience. And he was taking him down like he was a startup student in a self-defense class, and he was just knocking him down on the mat, rammed the dagger right into him, and that stole his it's like a power sucker, and by the looks of things it steals life force and metahuman powers and all of that. And then one thing I didn't see coming was when Cisco started to get more depressed and more heartbroken when him and Gypsy broke up, because after when the Breacher offered Cisco to become the new Breacher, which was a very difficult step, which means he had to step down from Team Flash, which of course it was a difficult situation. He was stuck in between Team Flash and Breacher and Gypsy team, but of course you can understand why he didn't want to do it, because he was part of that team for a very, very long time, since day one, since they made their first appearance in Arrow, when they told Felicity about Barry being in a coma and they helped them out with the Mercury cure. That was the first time we saw them, and then when we officially saw them for the first time, it was the first pilot episode of The Flash, when they were watching over him and he woke up from his coma. And it got really rough for him, and then Ralph, the elongated man, gave him a book of how to get over someone they fell in love with, and some of them did come as a fail and a succeed, and having a tailor giving him a new look, making him look like Ralph. And when I saw the trimming shears, I was like, no, do not cut off his hair. And then there's this metahuman who was creating force fields onto people by using the control of her hands and turning them into a big block of meat, which was gross because I could hear the meat splatting when they were trying to lift it up. And Nora, what the hell was she thinking? She can't just walk in and act like an intern, which I knew she was going to do in the first episode. So like, don't walk in, and then that way they're going to think you're a newbie in it, and then it's probably going to screw up time even more, which probably would. And she was starting to get cocky. Like, she shows up in the present in the middle of a welcoming party to the newest member of the Irish West family, and I had her name just now and flipping lost it. Well, I know her middle name is Maria. Her middle name is Maria, I know that. And it was awesome to see that former American Pie star Chris Killen, who is now Cicada. Because when I saw him remove his secret uniform and remove the breathing apparatus, I was like, oh cool, it's Osmeister. Because he was there from American Pie 1 through 2, and then he stepped back from American Pie The Wedding, and then he did his final return in American Pie The Reunion, where he was this big football announcer and talking about how cool the either football game or lacrosse game was. And now he is part of the Arrowverse universe, and I wonder how much it thrilled him, because the last time we saw him in an action movie was with Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, I think it was called. The way that he was acting is like, when everybody sees him, they see him as a wreck, because every time when they look at him, they see scars on him. And to be honest, I actually looked him up, Cicada, and when I said he steals life force, as in he steals their souls, athletic healing abilities, and also immortality. And not only that it turns off people's powers, he drains them from out of their bodies and into the dagger. And there must be a reason why he's doing this, because I didn't do further research on the character, but I know he was part of this some cult and he's probably an outcast, because like I said, I didn't research furthermore on it. And what I saw, that what I said for the beginning, that it's a dampening dagger and a drain sucker, which I was sort of right around that part. And by the looks of things, you can tell how well trained he was in the scene against Gridlock. And then Barry thought it was a good idea to teach her some physics towards of how to handle herself, and then she thought it was a good idea to spin around the speed lab and throw a lightning bolt which ricocheted and hit Barry instead. Yeah, she thought that was pretty clever. And Caitlin, she was trying to convince and distract Ralph and Cisco through the situation of her father is probably alive, because they found out in the first episode, at the end of the first episode, the death certificate was forged. And Cisco didn't have any good mojo in him, no good positive activity in him by the death certificate. And she's been trying to push back, and it got really serious. And then after, when this girl came back again, this meta, I forgot her name, but John, you do know what I'm talking about. They were going to go at it for the final time because she was going to sell weapons that she stole from a former partner of hers by killing one of the gang members' brother, and the brother wanted payback. And then some Iris, Iris was digging into her professional expertise of being a journalist. She was looking up ideas about what happened to Gridlock, and then that's when she noticed the freaky noises. And then she went that because she discovered it while she was in the CSI lab, where Barry is officially back in and trying to officially clear up the huge stacks that was in his office when he was fired, and everybody giving him dirty looks because after what happened with that whole DeVoe business. Yeah, didn't hear any apologies from that. Mostly she was doing some digging, and then she found out about Gridlock and then the weird breathing behind the camera, and then she spoke to some of the people who were in that truck, and the last thing that she heard was, the only thing that he heard was getting pummeled, and then he was knocked out, and he was wearing a neck brace, and he got a broken arm, and I think he had to stay on a wheelchair for a bit. And also the rest of the people that were sending Gridlock into Iron Heights prison in the dampening cells, they all said the exact same thing. And as soon as they stopped this new metahuman, which of course originally Nora, or should I say XS, was trapped into that box and then flung into the air, and then Cole seeing Barry doing the whole hand thing again, which of course I knew right away what he was going to do, because I mean it was obvious. But then right until the end of that second round battle, she noticed something. She was running out of breath. That means she was ready to lose focus of her powers. So instead of focusing on Barry by squishing him, she was running around to see if this metahuman can get her hands on Nora. She was throwing metapower after metapower, and the moves Nora was showing, doing all these fancy somersaults, and then she got exhausted. Nora got her hands on the dampener, dampened the metahuman, and then the dagger went through her. Pretty soon, hopefully we'll find out what in this CW version of Cicada's agenda is. I know he said I want all of you to die, and Gridlock and that new metahuman was just the start. And then just about when Elongated Man and Vibe jumped in, Nora had everything under control, and then that's when he swooped in, threw the dagger into the ground, and turned off all their powers because you can see the light removing from them and going inside the dagger. Basically a dampener dagger, and they had no idea what was going on, and they tried to take him on hand by hand, and you saw Nora's face when she saw Cicada. She freaked. Well, but that was before she got everybody, when she got that metahuman into the hospital after she was brutally stabbed. And by the looks of things, in the next episode there's going to be nothing we know from it, because she was probably dead. Barry got a big ass kicking, Ralph got a hell of a beating, and then Cisco was doing the smartest thing, trying to figure out how the dagger works and probably get rid of it and throw it like you would do with kryptonite. But it was that badly sharp, he reflected it back like a Jedi's force and sliced his hands, which looked insanely sore. And then just about when he was about to gut Barry, Nora shouted out her father's name, and then by the looks of things, Cicada, the way he was looking at Nora and Nora was looking at Cicada, he just backed off and left. And then shortly after Vibe getting his hands bandaged, he decided to man up. You need to know. Then held the certificate, touched Caitlin, and then they vibed, and turns out not only her father forged the death certificate, her mother was there too. And by the looks of things, they got their powers back as long as they're away from the dagger. And then just as soon as Iris was giving her intel of what she saw, and then they were listening to what the dampener sounds like, and then all Barry said it sounded like a bug, and then and then Nora said like a cicada. And the look on her face, she was that scared. And then Barry looked at her and says, "Who's Cicada?" And then just went to cutscene. And it was lousy for Cecile that she was losing her psychic abilities, but I have a theory. I think the psychic abilities weren't hers in the first place. I think they were psychically linked to each other between the baby and herself. So she was using her psychic abilities to channel it to Cecile's brain so she can hear other people. She has the psychic abilities. I think that's possible because it does make sense when you sense that it's gone, and then the next thing you just randomly hear, "Oh, she needs her diaper changed, oh, she needs to be fed, my power's just not gone." I don't think it was hers in the first place. I think it was the baby's. So pretty soon in the next few episodes we'll probably find out, or maybe in episode 3, you never know. Well, I have to say about this episode, again, 10 out of 10, 2 episodes, 10 out of 10. Good episode so far for this year. And Chris, I hope we're going to see in more action, because I don't know if you were doing your own stunts, but the way you were given the villain attitude, it was absolutely tremendous. It was fantastic. So thumbs up to you, big man. You did a great job. And it was good to see Ralph and Cisco back in action. Hands up to the both of them. And well, Barry, Grant Gustin, still good as he is. Thumbs up with the new uniform. I'm still not happy with the chin guard. And Candace, she did a fantastic job. The entire cast and crew and co-stars of this episode 2, fantastic, 10 out of 10. And I hope you guys enjoyed the episode as well. So whatever your opinions are towards the episode, please feel free to leave a comment. And same as always, subscribe to my channel, as you see in my corner icon in the reaction videos now. That's what I'm planning on doing, just leaving you guys a hint. Well, I hope to see you all in my next reviews, and as I said, that the first episodes of the Arrowverse, and I should have said that Titan was not part of the Arrowverse, so the next time if I'm doing a mega crossover Arrowverse reviews of all the Arrowverse episodes, it'll just be through Flash, Arrow, Black Lightning and Supergirl, and leave Titan out as a separate review. And so, until then, YouTubers and YouTuberettes, I'm ConorArmCEO. Thank you, and over and out. Wait, I remember. It's Jenna Marie West. There we go. Knew it would come to me.